Howdy folks, welcome to Schweifert. One of the best things to do in Schweifert is, guess what? Spaghetti ice. Spaghetti ice. Don't you agree?
Yes, it's very good.
How is it? Taste good?
Very good.
Oh, stay tuned, folks. I'm in heaven. Yes. Well, good morning, folks. How are you doing?
Good morning. We're doing well. How are you?
Oh, doing great. Doing great. Even better now that y'all are up here, and we appreciate you coming here, taking time out of your time to be with us and just pick your brains for a while.
Yeah,
and
thanks for having us.
Oh, you're very welcome, guys out there in the chat. This is Ashley and Jordan. They have the YouTube channel. It's called Keep Going Places. And that is exactly what they are doing. They keep on going places. They've been all over the place. And of course, I'm going to say Germany first. You know me. Yeah. But not only Germany, but all over Europe, Prague, all kinds of places. National parks. You're stateside now. Vietnam. That was an awesome video too, guys. We'll talk about that as we get going. Thailand, I think. Yeah, you go to Thailand.
Yeah.
Let me see. Spain, Lisbon, Portugal.
Yeah.
Portugal. Was it the Fuji? Fuji.
Almost 40 countries or something on our big kind of trip that we went on. It was a lot.
Wow, that is awesome. That is really awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and start here with a chat a little bit, and we're gonna go back and forth. And like I was saying in our prelude there, if you see something that I don't see, just jump on in. It takes a lot to get me offended. I don't get offended. So if you see something, just say, "Hey, Darren," So that's really cool. We got a Nick here. Nick's traveling right now. He won't be able to make it here, but he is traveling. He's from Minnesota. Tommy, here's one of your friends.
Tommy,
your friends.
Yeah, he's the very first commenter that we would talk about by name because he would regularly comment. Yeah, so
that is awesome.
To us. Hi, Tommy.
That is so cool. When I put out the thumbnail and everything, advertising, y'all be our guests and everything. First thing he said, he goes, "Oh, this is one of my favorite couples are right here." So he was happy, not only me, but him and I, but other folks as well. So we got good stuff here. Oh, we got Honest Brook. This is Jorg from Germany. Honest from Germany. Hey, good morning. Oh no, it's Guten Abend now. Where you're at? Yeah. Got Najuma. She's my buddy. She's
Good morning.
Good morning.
From Long Island, New York, and everything.
Oh, hey.
So, yeah, that's way up there. We have Eric here. Eric's from the Netherlands originally, but he lives in Austria, and
and Austria.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Beautiful.
He lives about 2 hours south of Hallstatt.
Okay.
And on my next trip, I'm looking forward to shaking his hand. So I'll be glad when that happens here. We got on again saying good afternoon to all. Moin moin. Of course, being up in the northwest of Germany, hence the northwest here.
Hello.
I got some hellos. Shady Hill. Glad you're here. Well, welcome in.
Hi.
Klaus. Now, see, I love this. I love penguins. Just walk around. I'm a penguin guy. What can I say?
Have you ever been to South Africa to the Penguin Beach?
I have not, but I've seen it. I've looked it up, but I've never been there.
They just waddle around on the beach.
Really?
So cute.
Well, you know what? This was not planned, but I'm going to prove to you I like penguins. I got a porcelain penguin from Germany.
I love it. What kind of penguin is that?
I don't know. A cute one.
I'm not up on all my penguin types.
It's a cute penguin.
It is very
I lived in Germany as a kid because my dad was in the military. So I was there, second, third, fourth, and part of fifth grade. And we lived in Germany. And my mom had porcelain parties all the time. Sort of like I guess the Pamper Chef people have now, whatever.
Yeah.
But they have like porcelain, like stuff. That's what this is, porcelain. And I saw that. I said, I bought it with my own money.
Oh, that's so sweet. And you still have it.
I still have it. Absolutely. That was a long time ago. Well, I'm only 22, so It's like no, but I've had
Yeah.
right. I colored my hair. But I have a lot of good memories there. Of course, I was stationed in the military myself in a place called Schweinfurt, Germany, about 30 Ks from Bamberg. And we'll get to that as we get going here. But my first Christmas market was in Nuremberg. I guess it was the original one.
Yeah.
And that was ours too, right? Wasn't that the first one that we went to?
What, in Germany?
In Germany. We went to other ones before.
It might have been. I was going to say we went to one before that because they started, like, as soon as we were in Europe and we started seeing even hints of Christmas markets, I was on them because that was all I wanted to do.
So you're on it. And I love it in your Bamberg video. You got me when you said, I'm hungry. Let's eat. You were first order of business. It wasn't those exact words.
Business. If you're grumpy on the road, at least for us, you need to ask yourself, "Am I hungry?" Yeah. The answer is probably yes. That's how I feel.
Yep.
Food will make it better.
Myself answer to me that way too. The Darren, you're hungry. Okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
But my first Christmas market ever when I was a kid, my dad took me on a train from Gießen. We lived in Gießen. To Nuremberg. My mom had to work that day. It was a Saturday, and I was never forget my dad. My dad's gone now. He's been gone for a while, but that's a memory that I have of him and I walking around Nuremberg, smelling all the gingerbread smells, and just the ambiance of being there and everything. And that's a good memory I have of my dad. And of course, the Christmas markets. Oh yes, I absolutely.
Like somewhere like you could be near home and smell that smell, and it takes you back and transports you, doesn't it?
It does. It really does.
How nice the markets must be for a kid's perspective was what I was going to say.
Oh, that's right. And I haven't been to a Christmas market since I was stationed there. Okay, I did go there. That was a long time ago. But I am this December. I'm taking my wife and kids. We're going to all the Christmas markets. Nice. We're going to fly into Frankfurt, go to Schweinfurt. We'll stay in Schweinfurt, and then go to Christmas out there in Schweinfurt, and then the same stay. We're staying 2 days there. We're going to probably take a train over to we'll rent a car, but we'll take a train from there to Bamberg.
Yeah.
Get off and walk around Bamberg's Christmas market and all that, and go down to Regensburg, Nuremberg, Garden, of course, Garmisch. Garmisch is my there's I don't know if you can see that, but Garmisch is my.
I see it on the wall.
Yeah, that's my go-to. Yeah, all of it's my go-to, but I love. Oh man, yes, it is.
That's so fun. Then your kids will tell somebody those stories later on about going to the markets with their parents. So
that's right. That's right.
And love, Yeah,
that's awesome. And also we gained a couple travelers too. We're taking a friend of ours and her daughter. She's coming. They've never been out of the country. And
that's so fun to watch people like kind of take it all in for the first time.
It is.
You kind of get to relive it through them.
Yeah, totally.
Right. And that's what I love to do. I love to share my experiences, share my travels with stuff I love to do. I just really enjoy it. Yeah. And what I do on my channel, I make up itineraries for folks. I help people with their airlines. They do all that stuff their own, but I direct them where to go, hotels, set up an itinerary, and I do it from the bottom of my heart. I do it as a hobby. Yeah. And so far, 23 people and 17 actually took my itinerary, and I got a phone call or note or something, saying, "Hey, this is awesome," and that's payment right there. I'm happy as pie.
Absolutely. Same. So I'm kind of the de facto travel agent in my family as well, so I get that. It's so nice to be able to be like, "Here, I think you'll really like this,"
That's awesome. I just love doing that, and obviously y'all do as well. Yeah. So Klaus, thank you for being here. We got off on the penguin there, our little buddies, but there we go. We got Mary here. She's awesome. She has a lot of does a lot of woodworking, like wood burning, and very talented. And I'm not when it comes to that. Yeah. All right, you have a homeboy here, I'll say. Mark Finley. This is my friends that live in Dallas. They live in the Arlington area.
Oh, nice.
Hello. Yeah, fellow Dallasite. Yeah.
Absolutely. They live in Arlington. And we went to you've probably seen it. You're familiar with Plano, Texas? Mm-hmm. Have you ever been to Bavarian Grill?
No,
we haven't.
Wow, you would think you're in middle of Bavaria somewhere.
Really?
That guy Jorgen, he's the owner of the place.
Mm-hmm.
I actually did a video on it back in February on my channel. But his name's Jorgen, and he's from Bavaria. He's from near Mittenwald area, right around that area. And you would think you're in Germany. You're not only German but Bavaria.
Yeah.
The food, I had the Schweinhaxe, and it tasted just like you were sitting in Garmisch somewhere or whatever. Oh wow, it was so good. You know, all the food.
Yeah, for sure. We're always looking for ways back home to like have just a piece of travel. Like when we love Thai food, and so we're always seeking out what feels like authentic Thai. Every once in a while, you'll get a dish, and you're like, oh, I could be in Chiang Mai right now. So I totally get that. Like, it's so special just to have a piece of it whenever you want.
Absolutely, and it's disappointing sometimes when you go to different places and you're like, oh, this don't taste like it.
It's not right.
I went to a German place. Oh my goodness, they're out of business now, obviously. And everybody talked about it, how authentic it was, and then come to find out, people said it was authentic. They've never been to Germany, so I didn't think about that. They just said, oh, it's authentic food. I'm like, really? So I get there and I order a piece of rouladen, and it just didn't taste right. It was like, ugh. And I don't turn down food. Okay, I like to eat. I got proof. But the spazzle, I love the German spazzle. I went to take a bite, and it was like pre-lukewarm and frozen.
Oh no!
So I put it in my mouth and went, oh no, this is not. I didn't even finish. I was like, I'm done.
That's such a
but Bavarian Grill, it's called Bavarian Grill in Plano. Okay. If you ever get a chance, make sure and ask for Jorgen. He will show you around. I went there with my camera, and I was asking him. I said, "Hey, do you mind if I just get a small interview right here and just talk to you?" And he went right to interview mode, like boom. I said, well, "Let me press the button." Hang on a second.
That's awesome.
And he goes, "Yeah, this is it. This is that." He'll show you everything. He goes, "This is my wall of beer. This is my wall of this," and everything. Awesome. And everybody know the new Svanstein Castle. Wow, I can sound like him. But anyways, he was awesome. And when we get back to Dallas, we're going to take a trip over to the Bavarian Grill. I guarantee you that.
Sure.
And there are other German restaurants too in Dallas area. Oh, yeah. And I went to 2 or 3 of them. I made videos of them as well. Of course, I was like, "Hey, look here!" But
in Texas in general, there's have you ever been to or heard of New Braunfels, Texas?
Yes, I have. Yes, yeah. I've heard of it, but never been there.
A lot of my family is from there, and I have a lot of German ancestry, and so they're all very connected to that. Like my great grandparents went by Oma and Opa, like they're just very connected to, I guess, their German side. So there's always tons of good German bakeries and delis and just all kinds of cool stuff down there. I love spending time.
Like an hour south of Austin.
Yeah.
Wow, that's all. Now, that's the same as Fredericksburg, right? Is it near Fredericksburg?
Yeah, okay, it's in the same area. Yeah,
Central Texas.
Yeah.
Now, when I flew out there, back in February, and I stayed with my friends, the Finleys right here, Mark and Terry, and they just started a YouTube channel too a couple months ago. It's called Escaping.
Congratulations to them.
Yeah, they went to Hawaii and they did a couple of videos and got a lot of views already. And they were just in Colorado, and they released some videos, and they have more to release later. But they're called Escaping the Empty Nest out of Dallas, Texas. So both their oldest daughter, they have a son and a daughter. Their daughter just graduated high school, and they have a son that graduated maybe 8 years ago. But so that's hence the Escaping the Empty Nest. It's the empty nest we're escaping, which is kind of cool. But when I had such a good time out there when I flew out there. I forgot what I was going to say. Everything just went. It'll come back. Let me see. York saying, there it is 5 o'clock. Yep. 5 o'clock there in Germany. Well, actually, yep. It's 17:14 in your area.
Yeah.
Glad you're here. Hey, Kami V, how are you?
Hello.
Look here, and then even called you beautiful people. That's good stuff. I like that. All right, Kami V, they're out of Canada. Warm, super sunny in the middle of Germany. Oh, 75 degrees in Germany. That's pretty warm.
That's lovely.
That's beautiful weather right now.
It's a gray morning here in LA, but that's okay. It'll get sunny later. It always does.
Absolutely. Didn't you visit the North Sea and look at the seals one time?
No,
I wish. I love animals of all sorts.
We were
Oh, me too.
different seas, but yeah, not the North.
Especially penguins.
Yeah.
We did in South Africa. We did it.
South Africa.
Yeah.
Yep.
To the penguins.
Okay.
But
Well, you have so many.
We tried to watch whales in northern Iceland,
oh,
but
that was a
saw one dolphin. And that
ginormous
was
fail. We went on this whale watching tour, which we had two couples, friends of ours, traveling with us, which always puts a lot of pressure on to like show them a good time, because we're like, oh, we're gonna go travel with our like international traveling friends. They're gonna have the best time. And we went on a whale watching tour and saw a single dolphin. It was so sad.
Wow.
Everyone got seasick.
Yes,
Well-
and they were all horribly seasick. And I was like, cool, fun day, guys. But they had a good time. Just that afternoon was the
Cinnamon rolls
best.
were good though.
Yeah.
Right. Now, if you're ever in Florida in January around that time, let me know, because I love taking people to swim in the manatees. I actually get in the water with them, and it's cold, but they're like stepping stones. And the reason why you pick January, because it's in spring water, which is 72 degrees year round. But they come in from the cold Gulf of Mexico, and they come in either Crystal River or Homosassa Springs right there, and you just. I'm a rule follower when it comes to animals. Making sure not to harass them or anything. But we just jump in with them, and if they come to you, they'll you can touch them, you just can't bless them or anything like that. But of course not. But it is a lot of fun. Now sometimes you get grumpy old men. They're like, I don't want no one touching me. And they're all in the wild. These are wild. But you get some baby manatees. They'll come by like, ooh, and you'll see the mama just hanging, watching their kid play.
Yeah.
Oh
my gosh,
we would love that. Yeah.
I would be thrilled. I love animals of all kinds. I'm always happy to see them. We went to the beach here in Malibu and saw a couple of sea lions, and I about lost it. I love them, all of them. They're so fun.
Wow, that's awesome. Now you're in the LA area now, correct?
We are. Yeah, we're in East LA right now, and basically
East LA.
Yeah, East LA. We're really liking it, actually. One of our friends, we've been here almost a month. One of our friends was like, how's LA? Because they're not much big city people. And I was like, man, I love it. Like, currently right now out the window, there's a farmer's market being set up. There's always something to do, which I really enjoy. So we're going to be here, and we've just been taking weekend trips. Went to Sequoia, went to Joshua Tree. And then in a couple of weeks, we're going to start basically to road trip the Pacific Coast Highway all the way up, and then go see some friends up north. We have friends in Portland, Seattle, and Spokane, and we're just going to go make the rounds and hang out with everybody through the entire summer.
Basically spend the summer up in the Pacific Northwest. So it should be good. Perfect weather up there during that time. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah. That's awesome, because you were in White Sands, right? The national park?
We were.
Yep. So we made a couple of stops on our way from Dallas over to LA. We did a week in New Mexico for White Sands, and then a week in Tucson. Went to Saguaro National Park, which was also very cool.
That was cool.
And then finally made over to LA.
LA, wow, that's awesome. I spent about a year and a half in LA area. I lived in right off Wilshire Boulevard, in a place called Westwood, right there, UCLA campus, off it sort of, and I was just a few miles from Santa Monica Pier and all that stuff. And I did about 6 months there, and then I guess almost a year I lived in a place called Simi Valley. Down the 5 freeway. I'm from Florida. I have no relatives in California at all, but I wanted to do it, and I did it.
Yeah, you did.
That was a long time ago, and pre-get married, all that stuff and everything, but way before pre-get married. And I'm glad I did it. So I can say, hey, I did it.
Yeah, but, for sure. I can see it's not for everybody. I mean, it wears us out sometimes, and we're used to like bustling cities, but it's exciting for a short time, and I know that it's going to be for a short time. It's very like fun, and exciting and entertaining, I think.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. Now, tell us where you're from. I sort of hinted y'all from Dallas and everything, but what areas of Dallas are you located? Not the pinpoint areas, but what Dallas is huge.
My address. No. I'm from like born in Fort Worth, but then I grew up about 40 minutes outside of Fort Worth, northwest of Fort Worth. And it was funny, actually growing up, I had never even been to Dallas before, even though it was like next door. It's kind of weird.
Really? There's a rivalry between Dallas and Fort Worth.
Yeah,
that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, there really is. We had eventually we had this conversation about it, and kind of both of us talked about the perspective growing up. I was raised just outside of Dallas in an eastern suburb of Dallas.
Yeah.
But I very much considered myself a Dallasite and was sort of raised to think that like Dallas is where all the cool stuff is. It's where all the best food is. It's where all the everything is. And Fort Worth is boring. You don't go to Fort Worth unless you need to, or unless you're going to the rodeo or something. And Fort Worth is boring. And then eventually in my adulthood, I went over to Fort Worth and I was like, what are we doing? This is such a fun place.
Yeah.
And then they were raised to think basically that Dallas is full of snobs, which it is, but and they all drive crazy, which
they drive
we do.
Crazy. Traffic's insane.
This is true. But there's just this weird rivalry when in reality, both, especially now, Fort Worth has grown so much.
It's all merging together now.
It's all just one big metroplex, as they call it.
That's right. That's what I found when I was there. My friend, he took me all over there. I even got to see, the Kennedy, the book factory, book museum.
Yes.
And I got to see that. That was real neat. We spent hours in there.
Yeah.
And of course, I saw where it happened, everything, the X in the street. I took a respectful picture there, of the picture and everything. I was like, wow, this is what I read about, saw movies about, and saw documentaries on for years and everything. And here I am. So that was neat. He also took me to a place called the Stockyards.
Yeah, that's a fun spot. Jordan knows all about that.
Oh yeah, I grew up having birthday parties there. And my mom
Really?
lived a couple miles from the Stockyards. And
wow,
fun fact: my mom in high school was in basically the local rodeo association, and she rode a few bulls at the Stockyards before I was born. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. I found my favorite hot sauce is garlic hot sauce. Hot sauce garlic, and I found some garlic hot in those little markets there at the Stockyards.
That's
delicious.
Oh
yeah,
hot sauce. I love hot sauce of all kinds.
Oh, me too, absolutely. But garlic, that's my favorite. That's my go-to. I'm a chicken wing eater. I love chicken wings. Chicken wings, hot dogs in below. I have kids. Anyways, but I got it there. I bought like two bottles of it.
Nice.
So it's really good. I also have the best. I'm sorry.
I was going to say in Fort Worth, there's a restaurant called Joe T. Garcia's. It's very, very popular. They have a huge patio, but they sell their hot sauce in most of the grocery stores nearby. And that is like my go-to when I'm home. I want a jar of the Joe T. Garcia's hot sauce, the medium, the spicy one. And it's so good with chips. So.
Chips.
Hot sauce and all.
There you go. I had some of the best Tex-Mex there in the Stockyards. It's called, what's the name of that restaurant? It's right by where the sign, welcome to Stockyards. Right there on the corner. I can't name it. But I'm going there. I'll be there next week, a couple weeks. Yeah. I can't.
There's so many restaurants there.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and you get such great authentic stuff. That's another reason I like LA is because I can maintain my high dose of Mexican food in my diet.
That's awesome. Because I love Mexican food.
Anywhere else besides like Mexico and the southern U.S.
We tried getting Mexican food a few times, like just in different places, right? In Europe or in Africa, and we had these super high expectations of what we would get. Yeah. And then we'd be quickly.
It'll be like close, but that's okay.
It was close from the
That's all right.
Absolutely. There is, however, a Mexican restaurant in a place called Grafenworth, Germany. It's on the outside of Grafenworth. It's a big U.S. Army training area. Spent a lot of time there. And actual Mexican family migrated to Germany like in the 70s. So these are descendants of the people who, and actually getting ingredients from Mexico and bringing it to Germany and everything. And it's always packed. You have to have a reservation to get there and everything. And I went there and I had the best burrito, better than I ever had anywhere. Best burrito, and I was there in Germany.
That's awesome.
They walk around, they got Sabros on. All the good stuff there. Hey, we got Leo. Have you heard of Leo F?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. This guy here, he has an awesome channel as well. He does not talk in them, but his videography skills are just awesome. He blends in the music and everything, and of course with the scene, and he don't spend like 5 minutes on a scene like you see some videos. Y'all don't, but you know what I mean, like just a couple pieces, and just really neat. So if you get a chance, check out my friend Leo. He a good must check.
You know, so many people.
Yeah, I have so many internet friends. I love that.
Absolutely. They call me V from Canada, saying hello, Ashley Jordan. And guys out there in the chat, hey, please make sure you check out Keep Going Places. I'll put their link in my description of this video. Make sure you go there and tell them I sent you.
Yeah.
And check them out. They have a lot of fun videos. I don't even know where to start. Well, the first one I saw was your Taiwan, and then Vietnam, and then I just kept going. I'm like, Germany. Germany. I was watching all those and everything, and I still have a lot more to watch. A lot I have not seen yet, but I saw the Vermont one the other day.
Nice.
That was a fun
we
one
love
for us.
Vermont.
It was
boy,
a fun trip.
You're about your was it the best fall getaway?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Getaway fall. Best fall getaway.
It is an ideal autumn place to be. Highly recommend.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. What got you started in the YouTube world? Obviously, you love travel, but what when you said, I want to do YouTube, how did that happen?
I'll let you take that one.
So it's going to require both of us to answer that question.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I would say, first, I actually found out about travel vlogging or people making travel videos or travel blogging, anything from Ashley.
Yeah. I consumed a lot of YouTube content before we ever did this. And Kara and Nate are a huge influence on our entire journey. Yeah. We consider them good friends now, and we've been lucky enough to travel with them and get to know them. But yeah, I basically discovered them, and the seed was planted that like people even do this, and then we kind of, I'll let you finish your story.
So I didn't watch YouTube like it's TV or anything. So I didn't really know like what was even going on the YouTube platform, right? I was kind of just working, doing my thing and living. And we just love to travel. So we were traveling a ton. And when she first told me about like people making travel videos and vlogs and they were doing it full time, I was like, oh, that sounds awesome. Like I'd been wanting to like take a break and from work, and before we had too many responsibilities and say, okay, like let's go like take a break and travel. We love to travel. Let's make that our priority. And when we thought about it, I really wanted to document our journey because I won't go into all.
You did well.
Yeah, I don't have a ton of like pictures or videos from like growing up, childhood, or any of that. And I'm like, so I don't have. It's all in my head, right? Memories and stuff. And then when we got married, wedding budgets, they can get crazy. And the wedding industry is pretty costly. And it was like, should we do photography and videography, or video only, or photo only? And we opted for photos. And I was like, no, we're not going to do videography for our wedding. It's too expensive. And ever since then, after the wedding, I kind of regretted it. I was like, oh, I really want the video to like relive it. And so when we made the decision to go travel, I was like, we're gonna film it. Like we're gonna film it and make videos. And then I was like, we'll put it on YouTube to share with all our family and friends, just to start with. And that's kind of how it first got started. But you have a lot more.
I was very much like, great, film it if you'd like to. I don't really want anything to do with that. I didn't want, because also too, when we decided to do full-time travel, the entire idea was that it was temporary. It was a year. And so in my mind, it's this big event in my life, and I'm not going to work. I'm not going to be bothered by filming, worrying about getting a shot of something, talking in public, and editing. I was like, I don't want to do that. That sounds
a lot of work.
Not fun. We did a practice video back home one day, just like filmed ourselves around, and I tinkered with whatever the editing software that comes on a Mac. iMovie. Anyway,
I don't know.
And I was like, this is boring. I don't want this. So knock yourself out, have fun, and I'll be in the video, sure. And then it just grew. I couldn't even put a pinpoint on how each twist and turn happened, but eventually.
Let's just say I started making the videos to begin with. So if you go back to the beginning, you're like, those aren't the greatest videos, but I would start editing, and I was trying to learn to use our camera, and I'd pick the music, and Ashley would look over my shoulder and she's like, you can't use that song. Like, that's not a good song. Or that cut's not good. So
I'd
you
be
started
like,
getting into the editing.
well, if
a
you're
little bit.
gonna if I'm gonna be represented on the internet, it needs to be as good as we can possibly make it. So let me help you with that. So eventually I was picking the music, and we had this weird back and forth where Jordan would edit, he'd send me the video, and then I would type up like, make all these changes, and here's the music that I've chosen, and then he would do that, and we did that for a long time until basically Jordan needed to do other stuff, and it was unfair that I wasn't helping more, because what am I doing? Nothing. Well, not nothing, but nothing in relates to the editing.
Like I'd be filming,
Yeah.
editing. I do it, even travel hacking and planning and stuff. Yeah.
Anyway, so eventually it was decided that I would start learning to edit, and now I do 90% of the videos, almost all of them. Eventually I'll do the entire thing, but
you basically do now.
Yeah.
Like I film still when we're out, but you do pretty much all the editing.
Yeah. And it's working for us, so that's
awesome. It's definitely, and I agree, it is a lot of work. You know, sometimes you spend hours.
Yeah.
I mean, let's say hours.
Oh yeah. Our videos take me several days to edit. Still, yeah. So.
I believe it. My first time, like I said, I'm 2 years new, but finally in June it hit me. Okay, I need to start editing. I need to start learn how to edit. Let me figure this out. So I just jumped into it. So what I did, I used a bunch of videos that I wasn't going to use, my junk videos, I call them.
Sure.
And I my first edited video I put out, and I got a lot of views off my junk video. I got my junk video. I'm like, wow. Okay, so I got to figure out how to do this thing. So I started with the app on my iPhone. I didn't even know what iMovie was, and here I had it right here. But then I started with iMovie, and then and so forth, and then I go to Germany twice, sometimes three times a year pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And so that was June. I took it was my wife and I and 3 other couples to Germany, and so we were, you know, so I was like, okay, I got to figure this out. So before I was sitting up there, hi, I'm here, you know, like this. I'm like, oh, landscape. Yeah. So all my videos prior to that, you know, they're this way, but from June on, they're this way.
Yeah.
But and anyways, when we went back in September, I was on fire. I was making, you know, I did a lot of filming over there. It was 2 buddies of mine and I. We went. It was a guy trip, and so that was June. Yeah, June. Yeah. That next September, we're back in Germany again. I was like, wow. And then I was supposed to be there again. Well, I had 3 trips planned in 2020. Didn't happen.
Such a bummer.
So there goes my channel's about Germany. So it's hard to put Germany content when I'm sitting here in middle Georgia, you know, but every Monday I put out new content, but I somehow something I create comes up and I make it work, either old stuff or bring in, you know, current news or, you know, something. But when I get back, I'm going to be a filming connoisseur, you know, the stuff that I've been wanting to do for the last year and a half, you know, that I could not do. Now I can, with the knowledge that I have now. And with that being said, a lot more to learn.
There always is. No matter what level you're at, there's always some other thing that you're trying to learn or improve upon or upgrade, you know. So it's a journey.
Yeah, we were in a little bit of a different situation because we went to so many places on our year of traveling, and we were probably 11 months in when COVID really hit and started, you know, countries started closing their borders and things, and we kind of came back home in March of 2020. Well, we were traveling so fast in that last year that we were so backlogged on videos to edit that when we got back, we were just, for a while, we were full-time editing, and we didn't film for probably, I don't know, 6 months or 5.5 months. We didn't film because we had so many videos to get through. So we just finally got through those, I think, in like March.
Recently. And then we started making new content again slowly, which is also extra weird. Maybe you'll experience this when you finally get out and like vlog again or make videos again. It's a muscle that, like, if you haven't stretched in a while, you're awkward about it.
A little rusty.
Also, there's something very different about vlogging in the US where you're from and abroad, because when you very first start, a lot of people struggle with talking to a camera in public.
Oh, yeah.
It's embarrassing, it's awkward, which it is, and you have to get used to that. But when we would be
staring at you,
when we would be abroad, I would always just tell myself, they don't likely know what I'm saying. I'm speaking English. a lot, in Europe they probably do, but elsewhere, like, I'll just pretend like they have no idea what I'm saying. It just doesn't matter. And I'm just a weird tourist. But here in the US, it's like to comment on a restaurant when you're sitting in it and like everybody knows what you're doing and is like, who's that? What's going on?
Right.
In LA, at least, everybody's filming something. Nobody cares. But elsewhere, it can be a little more awkward, which is why we've so enjoyed all of our national parks and camping and hiking, because you can just have all the time and space in the world.
Be out in nature, kind of all alone. Yeah.
Oh boy, yeah, that's very true. Like in Germany, when I was, finally the light bulb hit on. Oh, I could do this, I could do that, and everything. And I bought a tripod. And I'm big time now. I got a tripod right there, and people are walking by and they'll just stop. They'll stop and stare. What in the world are you doing? Yep. I just start talking. Hey guys, how you doing? Everything.
I've done so many takes with a stranger right here. The camera's here and I'm talking and they're right there, and I just have to like, okay, we're gonna keep going. Cool.
We were in Stockholm once, and we were in the Stockholm trip.
Oh yeah,
I was videoing her at a restaurant, and she was doing like a food review. And there was literally an audience like right beside her, just stopped and was listening for like a minute.
And nodding along. And then as soon as I was done, they just kind of looked at me and went, and then continued on. And I was like, okay, bye. I hope you enjoyed.
I'm going to check you out on your YouTube channel.
Yeah. We've also had several people think that we're doing the news, which is very funny to me.
Wow. That
a news anchor.
That's all. And it's funny you said that. I had someone come up and said, are you a newscaster? And I started playing. I'm like, well, so where are you from? And everything. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing.
You have the voice to be a newscaster, I feel like a radio kind of a voice,
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that, man. And again, hey guys out there in the chat, I'm not an Orient. I'm going to go through and you'll see your name up there and I will get to them. So I don't want you to think I'm being rude, but we're enjoying our friends here. Feel free to ask questions to Ashley and Jordan and everything. And again, just to make sure you go to my description down below. I put their link in there. Check them out, and you'll be pleasantly surprised. So, Margie, hello out there. Kenneth out there. Glad you're here. Partner channel there. Got let's see. Najuma's there. Katami. Another just been on the cool side. Okay, there you go. Talking among themselves there. Hey, Margie, so glad you see. I can't even talk. So glad that you are here. We those are there in the chat. We been going around the house and everything. We got some company coming a little bit later and everything. And I looked at the time. I'm like, oh, it's 10:51. So I jumped on there. So, Ann has got some good news here. Good news from Germany. At the moment, the numbers are falling and everything is reopening step by step. Ashley and Jordan. Now I got two trips planned. I got a trip in September. Me and some friends are going to Germany, and of course December. But as soon, it's not a figure of speech. It's not a slogan. It's nothing. As soon as they open Germany, if they say we're taking flights right now, I'm going to Delta. I'll take a flight. But whatever date they give me, say, oh, we're going to be open this date. I'm going to be on that. I'm going to be on that flight.
That's so cool. Do it.
I can't wait.
Time it will be well earned for everybody who finally gets to travel.
Oh boy! Now, since you've been to Germany, let's talk about Germany a little bit.
Sure.
And Ann, thanks for that update there. I really appreciate that. While you're in Germany, okay, and I want to talk to you about the Chris Marcus and some videos in Germany and all that stuff. But did you ever try this treat called spaghetti ice?
No, and we saw that a favorite treat of yours. I've never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
No. Wow.
I love cold, sweet treats, which I gather that's what it is. I'm sure.
Yeah, that is absolutely what it is well, as you know, in Europe, there are no preservatives, the law of 1516, no preservatives or anything. But basically it's ice cream with that looks like a plate of spaghetti. So, and I had my first spaghetti ice when I was 7 years old in Germany. So I always had it when I lived there. Yeah. I remember on Wednesday nights, some of my people, folks here in the chat, they know, what I'm about here. But every Wednesday night after church, because we go to Sunday and Wednesday, we Ice Cafe would stay open for us because they know a bunch of Americans would come over and get spaghetti ice. And that was our thing. We go get spaghetti ice. And it was so neat. And then, of course, when I went in the military 9 years later, that's the first thing I went for, spaghetti eyes, and of course all that. And every time I go get spaghetti eyes, but anyway, spaghetti eyes is just fresh. Can you say fresh?
Fresh.
Fresh.
Fresh. Oh, that was perfect. That was perfect. In unison. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Fresh. George's like, what in the world about that? What it is? You got a nice chilled plate. Okay, and then they get this fresh cream straight from the cow. I mean, it comes straight from the cow. They put the cream. It's like a whipped cream. Okay, but it's fresh. Then they got a vanilla ice cream, which tastes totally different over in Germany, and then over here. Over here is good. Trust me, I had some yesterday, but the taste is different. Then they take strawberry sauce, fresh crushed strawberries, and they put over there. Okay, that's your marinade. That's your spaghetti sauce. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Now, do you like cheese on your spaghetti?
Parmesan.
Sometimes, yeah, sure. Sometimes.
Okay. The Parmesan cheese, you know what they use? They use white chocolate. They crush up the white chocolate, and that's your cheese. Okay.
Wow.
And I don't know about you, but I have to have garlic bread. I love garlic bread.
Absolutely.
So they stick a wafer in the ice cream. Boom, and that's your garlic bread. And then where's my? This is my pretend spoon. Okay.
Yeah.
This actually came from Germany. My backtracker from the Euro store. I paid €1 for this 10 years ago. Anyways, then you got your chill plate of fresh spaghetti eyes, and this is what your reaction will be the first time you have spaghetti eyes. You'll take it like this, and you put it in your mouth, and you're just like, oh, and then you go. It's good stuff. Anyways,
I'm sure I would love it. I love ice cream of all kinds, so I'd be all over it.
Yeah. Is it like a regional thing, or is it pretty common? Like, can you get it at any restaurant normally, or is it kind of hard to find?
Not necessarily in a restaurant, but some restaurants do. I'll always ask. Even if I don't see it, I'll ask because they'd be surprised. Oh yeah, we could do it. Oh really? And you get the best spaghetti eyes. But mostly they're in ice cafes on any like Anytown, USA, any corner of Germany. You're just going to ask for spaghetti ice, and you'll get it. And there's different flavors of spaghetti ice too. And it's not only the strawberry, but there's all kinds of stuff. But always that's my favorite. I gotta have it. But that's what I was eating in the beginning of the video. You saw that little 20 seconds. Spaghetti eyes, and my buddy's in there. Yeah. So it's a lot of fun.
And kartoffel puffers.
Oh yeah, the potato pancakes in Germany. We're all about that. That's we mentioned New Braunfels. Sorry. Anyway, they have essentially like they call it Wurstfest, but it's like Oktoberfest. And I had been going since I was little because my family always would go, and they always served potato pancakes, kartoffel puffers. I think in some parts of Germany they're called something else, but I love them.
With applesauce.
And we were hunting them constantly. Everywhere we went, we're like, do you have them? Do you have them? Can I have one, please?
They're so good. So good for sure.
So delicious.
Well, hey, cocktails and crochet with Coco. Talk about another
name. Love us some cocktails.
Yes, we do. I've never.
There you go.
But...
And she croquets. She has cocktails and croquets.
Love
it. That's good stuff. Okay, I'm saying, talking about, unfortunately, done a notice. How's within? I think it's fully vaccinated. Where most hotels are also open. That is so good. Good news. Now, y'all been to Garmisch? Y'all been to Garmisch?
We have, yeah.
Oh, the Zugspitze. Oh my goodness, I love that. I love that.
Went sledding up there. It was super fun.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Okay. Yes, and it's just beautiful up there. And remember thinking that with the hotels. I stay at the Edelweiss Hotel, US here, and of course other hotels too because it's booked all the time. So you got to make sure you get booked ahead. But anyways, they are fully open now. So for people that are there, but I'm telling you, as soon as they let us travel, international travel, they're already booked out. Once they open up the bookings and everything.
Yeah.
I think they're already booked out till I think February at least.
Yeah, I think I read this morning that like airline prices are back up to normal because everybody's booking stuff again. So
right.
That's exciting.
That is exciting. Yeah. It'd be nice to get those deals. I don't think we'll see any good deals for a while, but
I think they're gone. That's okay. I don't mind.
So tell us about when you went to Germany and your favorite. Let's start with Bamberg. We'll start with Bamberg first.
Mhm.
All
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
So
So I guess at a high level, we started in Nuremberg. We did a day trip up to Bamberg. Then we moved over to Rothenburg
Mhm.
and went out to Dinkelsbühl, and then went down to
yes,
and then Garmisch, and then Munich. So we did like this huge kind of road trip all
Right.
through Bavaria.
Yeah, Bavarian road trip.
And I probably didn't pronounce all those city names correctly, so I apologize for that.
Certainly we didn't. I apologize to any native German speakers. Our pronunciation is poor.
I say that all the time. So they're used to hearing it.
And I know I think Germans in particular are very particular about how you pronounce things. Like it has to be exactly right.
Yes.
I don't know.
And I can't do it right.
In English, just say it however you feel.
Right, and they'll tell you to. Which I'm trying to learn the language.
Mhm.
And I got a long ways to go. I could get around. I could travel. I could count to 100 and more.
Yeah.
But I could definitely order food and stuff like that. Travel.
Yeah.
A little bit of conversational. But I cannot say I'm fluent. But I would like to be. I have German friends. They mess with me all the time. They'll say something. I'm like, I heard that. And they're like, oh. It's kind of funny.
That's awesome. That's cool though that you can even catch it. That's a good sign.
Right. It's a little bit. They'll say something, they'll laugh. I'm like, what are they saying? I don't want to admit that. I don't know what they're saying. Oh man, you really said that. We a little story here, small little story. I was on a train. And over there in Germany, there are no school buses. Like this is a school bus. They use public transportation to get around.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a couple guys, they're preteens, maybe 12, 13, 14, maybe. And they were laughing. And I heard them say, oh, that American, he's fat. He likes to eat like that. And I understood what they were saying. I'm just sitting there, oh my goodness. I'm sitting there smiling and everything. And they were laughing, ha, 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 ha. And they were going like that.
Mm-hmm.
And over there, and I said in German, I said, yes, the food is really good here. And I said it in German. And oh, took me like, I'm sorry. They were I said, don't worry about it. I said, klein blah, don't worry about it. I said, it's funny. They're like, they kept saying sorry. I'm like, no, don't say sorry. It's okay. Don't worry about it. But it was funny though.
Be a lesson that anybody could be hearing you at any time.
Yeah,
that's right.
I think that when we're in a different country, we might be speaking English to each other, but I just pretend people, know what we're saying.
Oh, for sure.
Be polite and kind. Not that I wouldn't be, but yeah.
Tommy says that Jordan is a cowboy at heart, no doubt.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, so I never like grew up on a farm or like any of that, but I did outside of Fort Worth. I grew up at out in, I guess, the countryside in a big agricultural community. I think the town I moved to.
You've done some roping in your time.
I have, yeah. The town I grew up in was 8 people. I grew up near the stockyards and out, the whole area, but never actually like had our own farm or ranch or anything, but definitely grew up all around it.
Cowboy adjacent, both of us. My family on my dad's side is my dad grew up on a ranch.
Yeah.
And did the whole farm life, and my grandparents still have a bit. They're getting older now, so they don't do much of it, but have cattle and longhorns. And I grew up, when we visited them, they'd put you in the back of the pickup truck and you'd help push the hay bales out for the cows and stuff, or riding the tractor. Cowboy adjacent for sure.
No, that's right. Absolutely. And I'm going to let's see, Barodic is around. Angie, her name's Angie. Mm-hmm. She is Filipino born, grew up in Australia, and married a German and been living in Germany now in Heidelberg for 20 years. Cool. And she is a lot of fun. If you want to check her out someday, anybody in the chat, make sure you check out Angie. In fact, Andy just made put out a premiere video this morning of making spaghetti ice, and she's calling out my name in there. Darren, this is for you. And she actually made it there in her kitchen. Her and her husband, which is funny. And so make sure to check it out. I see that she made. You're probably gone now, Angie. but I will definitely get with you for sure. So let's get back to Bamberg. What was your favorite parts in Bamberg?
I didn't spend just a ton of time. I mean, is that where we finally found the yes? One, yeah. I'm not going to try to pronounce it because speaking of pronunciation, the flaming mulled wine thing that they have there, I asked the person selling it to me, how do you pronounce it? And they say it for me, and I say it back, and they said, no. Da-da-da-da. And I'm like, I swear that's what I said. Okay, and then I try it again. They're like, no. And we went back and forth, and I'm like, I don't hear a difference. I do not hear a difference in what you're saying. But I tried so hard, but I don't even want to say it out loud, but Fusengembole, the flaming mulled wine beverage.
Yeah.
Right.
I had heard about it ahead of time on Instagram. Instagram is where I find all kinds of travel tips. I really love it. And we saw it for sale several places, but it was never like served to you with the flame. It like they did it behind the bar, I guess. And finally we found one where they had it, and I was absolutely delighted. And it was huge. It was so exciting. Very exciting.
Catch your hair on fire.
I don't know, if everybody needs to like day drink that heavily and just on your vacation, but like it was so fun and really cool, and it made for a fun picture. That was a highlight for sure.
But
that whole market was one of my favorites. It was a good size so that they had everything that a market ought to have, options and things to shop, but it was also quiet and smaller, at least compared to Nuremberg, and it was so fun.
The architecture there was beautiful and very walkable. And then the river with the was it the town hall on the bridge?
Oh yeah. Yeah, those beautiful the murals. That's so cool.
The Rat House, the city hall there.
That was absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I forgot
that one drink you were drinking that you're drinking at the end. Y'all sitting in like a cafe type thing with a red and white like tablecloth.
Is that at the Christmas market, and they had like a little stall type of thing that you would go drink.
House
you're drinking
to get out of the cold, basically. So we sat in there. That was nice.
That's awesome. Now I remember one video I was watching. I can't remember. No, I think it is Bamberg. And I thought it was awesome. You paid €1 like for a Christmas ornament, and you got to.
That was so fun because
that was awesome.
And in a weird way, it felt like we were sort of getting to participate in Christmas, because when we travel all the time, we're away from family. And so many traditions and rituals and birthdays are missed. And so getting to decorate a tree and like support I think it was the Rotary Club that the donations went to. And we got to talk to the local who spoke a surprising amount of English, and he was so kind. And then interestingly, we got a ton of comments on that video of locals who were like, oh, I think he like works at the school or something, and they recognized him, the man who sold our ornament
at the school.
Anyway, and you get to put it on there wherever you want. And I just thought, what a fun and cute way to make a little money. Everybody likes it, kids like it, adults think it's fun. And then the tree is just like absolutely weighed down, only at the bottom because that's where we can reach, and there was no ladder, just weighed down with ornaments, and it looked kind of fun and cool and a little shaggy. I loved it.
Yeah, it was a great experience.
It was so fun. A little bit of Christmas magic for us away from home.
All right, that looked pretty cool, and I'm going to look for that too, because we're going to be at the Bamberg one, and
we loved it.
Absolutely.
Right here in 2021. Oh my goodness.
So
everything's open. I love hearing what I'm hearing here in the chat, on the news, and everything about things opening, because I can't wait to get back. Number one, spaghetti ice. I'm telling you, one bite, you're that's it. That is it for sure. But spaghetti ice, Angie. They're talking about that video that I was telling about, that Angie brought us around.
Yeah.
She goes, I made this for you, Darren. She made the spaghetti ice.
That's awesome.
And my family and I, we actually made one last April. We that's when COVID started, really getting out there. And I said, hey, let's do something fun. Everybody was, we're a lot, whatever. But we could go to the grocery store. I bought all the stuff. I came back. I said, let's make a YouTube video of it. So my wife, my two kids, son and daughter, so we're making it. We're squeezing it with a spatula, with a thing. I call it a jigmajig potato press. From Germany, came from Germany, and it turned out really well. That's for sure.
Nice.
Now you went to Nuremberg after that. Oh, I loved just watching y'all walking around Nuremberg. I mean, Memory City. I mean, it was just.
I bet.
That place is just absolutely gorgeous. So gorgeous.
What was your favorite part of Nuremberg? If there is one, because what's your favorite part of Nuremberg?
Well, yeah, and so much of our Germany trips, it's just Christmas market after Christmas market. But I remember walking around that morning before we got to the market, and I think we were filming some stuff, and it was so quiet. Was that where they had the long bridge, the covered bridge? Okay, I was going to make sure I was remembering correctly. I think basically everybody was at the market, and nobody was just walking around town. So we're just strolling along this gorgeous covered bridge, and it is just so quiet and peaceful. And I remember saying out loud, like, I don't know where the people are. This is a big city. And they were at the market, I think, because when we got there, it was really busy. But it was just this moment of kind of taking in the town. Nothing's distracting you. It was incredibly peaceful. That was my favorite moment, I guess. And then obviously the market was what we came for. That specific Christmas market was what I had seen a picture of like years before. I had saved it and like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. We don't have anything like that here in the States. I need to do that. And so finally getting to do it was dream come true. I mean, not to sound corny about it, but truly.
Wow, the architecture there is beautiful. Like, I totally agree with the rivers and the bridges and everything. It was so quiet that you could just kind of stroll around and take it in this town that's like super, super old and has so much history. And like in the present day, you're just walking through and observing and thinking about like, well, what's happened here? And just, I don't know, you had some time to really think and just take it in. Yeah. And then I think our favorite, or at least my favorite potato pancakes we found at the Nuremberg Christmas market. So
that was where they had the garlic sour cream.
The garlic sour cream, that was good.
Ooh, garlic sour cream. I never had that.
And I just had regular sour cream. Not that that's just a huge difference, but I remember I was ordering it and he was like, well, do you want the plain or the garlic? And I was like, be still my heart. You can put garlic on it. Please do. And it was delicious. Yeah, it really was.
So speaking of, garlic, obviously you like it because of hot sauce and everything too. I'm a garlic fan too. I gotta have garlic. Even when I'm grilling, whatever, I throw some garlic, whatever I'm grilling.
I go through garlic more than any other ingredient when I cook, by far. So.
That is absolutely right.
Everything better.
Yep.
Did you see?
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, it looks like we have a question from Tommy. Let's see what he said. Know you had to cut your international travel short a bit. What country did you not get to that you will visit once all this mess is over?
Ooh, good question, Tommy.
Several Asian countries, essentially.
Yeah. So we, so in our whole year, we basically started in Africa. We did Kenya, South Africa, Morocco for about 5 weeks. Then we spent 6 months in Europe. We did like all Southern Mediterranean, all Central Europe, Western Europe, Iceland, Scandinavia. And then we touched on a few different Eastern European countries. That was basically all geared to get us into the wintertime for Christmas markets all through Europe, right?
That's what we were there for sure.
And then we flew out to Australia, New Zealand, Fiji, and spent probably a good 5 weeks. And then
that was so awesome.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
It was beautiful, and it was in summer, right? So we were there in January
that was nice.
Of 2020, and then early February, like February 2nd or something, we flew to Southeast Asia, and we were going to travel all around Southeast Asia and do like Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia, Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, Indonesia, you name it.
Right.
But we probably got halfway through Southeast Asia when all the countries, started closing their borders in March, and we were in southern Vietnam. We're going to Cambodia, and then while we're in Cambodia at Siem Reap, we basically were like, we need to book a flight home because we might not be able to get a flight back to the States if we don't do something quick.
Yeah, we're getting all these notices from the embassies or whatever, the travel notices, and they're like, you need to come home now, or you may not be able to come home indefinitely. And it all sounded so dramatic and scary. And looking back, like, sometimes we're like, I wish we could have just stayed in, Thailand.
The numbers weren't bad there at all.
But anyway,
I remember seeing that video when you're flying back from Thailand during COVID and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
That was an
dramatic and
experience.
stressful time. But basically, we didn't get to go to Singapore, Malaysia, which now we sadly may have missed that window for some time. They're having some difficulties, but
what's Myanmar?
Oh, Myanmar, excuse me.
We
But we were going to go there
Myanmar
as well.
Philippines.
The Philippines.
And then we were going to go to
Korea and
we
Japan,
had been to South Korea and Japan before we started filming.
Mm-hmm.
And I have some family that live outside of Seoul in South Korea. And so we're going to go visit there. And then we were thinking about going to like India and some other places. We didn't really know. I think we were getting as far as like get through Southeast Asia, go to Korea, Japan, and then we were going to try to figure out what was next. Because then our year would have been up, and it was like, do we go back home and just stop traveling full time, stop doing YouTube, and go get a job, or what? Well, we had no choice. We had to figure that out when COVID kind of shut everything down. So we had to do it, make a decision.
Yeah. So we'll get to those for sure.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to, like I said, there's so many videos I have not. I saw a bunch of yours, but there's so many more. I can't wait to I'm trying to catch up. Your all your past and everything. Yeah. And guys out there in the chat, and here's your chance to catch up with the videos in the past and the future for these fine folks here. My partner channel, Kenneth Fordman, aka Kenneth Oath. He put he made it easy for everybody. He put the link to Keep Going Places channel right there, so it's very easy to get to.
Appreciate that.
Big thank you to Kenneth. Thank you, sir, for doing that. So he made it easy for you. So right there. Come check out Ashley and Jordan. No doubt about it.
Thank you. See, I saw a question from Kim saying, what life lesson has travel taught us? Which I think is a fun one.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
My first thought on that is, for me personally, just essentially that I am a lot tougher than I give myself credit for, or that I imagine that I am. Sometimes I can be kind of a sensitive soul or picky about things or whatever. And then we would get out and be traveling and, like sprinting for a train, or going a really long time being hungry and needing to film, or stressing out about where to go, being confused, not knowing how to speak to anybody, all that stuff. And I would just find that I would just do it. I just, there's no other choice. I want to be doing this. It's not like I'm going to quit. And I would find a way and like get myself through it. And then I would think about it later. I'm like, man, I can do a lot more than I think that I can, or than I ever gave myself credit for. And maybe next time expect that I can do it, and then do it with maybe more gusto or something. But basically, and that seems small, but it's been very, I don't know, empowering in a way of just knowing like, okay, this thing that I have planned, this trip or whatever in life, it'll be challenging, but I can do it. I've done other hard things, and you can figure it out. And I'm tough. I'm strong.
That's
so
right.
That's for me.
And that's a big thing too. It's just it takes a lot. It takes heart.
Yeah.
Sure. And I applaud that. For you both. So that's really neat. And if more people did that, there'll be a lot more traveling. There'll be a lot more doing stuff that they can never imagine, whether traveling or working or whatever your aspirations are.
Yeah.
So,
it's very scary, but just put yourself in that situation sometimes, to the extent that it's safe, I guess, and do it. And
that's right.
Figure it out, and you'll learn a new skill. You'll learn something about yourself. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
What about you?
For me, I would say, so I was always like very career driven. Like it was all about like be successful. You got to do these things. You got to like work with purpose and achieve big things. And I was on this track, right, of like, this is what I'm doing and nothing's stopping me. And I was always working, right? And I didn't take a lot of time to like be present in the moment and like experience the beauty of this planet. And I think being out there traveling full time, you got to see so much of the world. And especially for me, like I grew up in a super small town, like grew up my whole life in Fort Worth and never even been to Dallas, right? Mm-hmm. When I went to college, Austin was the biggest city I'd ever been to. And I was like, what is going on? This is huge. And so for me, I think it was realizing, I got away from work for a little while when we took a break to go travel full time. We met a ton of people that were on 1 year sabbaticals, 6 months, just traveling full time with their kids.
Yeah.
and I got to just be present and take in the moment, take in the beauty of like earth and nature and different cultures and cuisines and history. And then you have to learn about everywhere you go. When you go to the museums and everything, you learn so much about places that it kind of flipped my whole like life upside down for the better.
Absolutely.
Where now like I can be more present and enjoy the world for what it is, right? Like versus just be so narrowly focused on like career and like success. And so it's just been
Gives
a good
you
change.
Buckets and buckets of perspective. Travel
So
does.
much perspective.
Just,
yeah.
You learn about a different point of view. You learn about a different way of doing things, and you can see, oh, it's different, and that works too. And you know, people are kind everywhere, and they experience similar pain and similar joy or whatever. Anyway, lots and lots of perspective, which is so valuable, I believe. So.
This is very valuable. Question for you. You mentioned Austin. Did you go to school at College Station or?
No, we are both Longhorns.
We are, yeah. We went
Longhorns.
Yes.
All right. So
we didn't know each other in college. Funny enough, that's not where we met, but we both went there at the exact same time. It's a very big school. We never met.
My neighbors are Longhorns.
Nice.
Yeah, he's in the Air Force here, and in fact, he's going out. He's going out to he's from Houston, but they're outskirts of Houston, and they're leaving a couple weeks. But he's big Longhorn. I'm big Gators, so I got Gator stuff in my yard and everything. You walk in, I got all this like statue stuff and everything. You go over there, he's like, hook 'em horns, and you know, and his son. Oh my goodness, he has a 5-year-old son. Okay, I won't say his name or anything, but anyways, he comes there all the time and plays with my son. My son, he'll be 11 in September, so it's like his little brother. You know, they're buddies, and his daughter's younger too, and they're buddies with my daughter, which my daughter's older. And anyways, not older, but older. Yeah. And but anyways, he comes over all the time, and he goes, because I got Gator stuff all over. I mean, when I say all over my house, all over my house. And I got an awesome wife. She lets me do it. And it's up in the dining room. The dining room, she don't want to get her stuff, but everywhere else, like orange and blue, my office, orange and blue. Anyways, but he comes over and he goes, "Go Gators!" I'm like, "Hey, don't be saying that too. I mean, that's cool, but don't be going home and say go Gators to your daddy," because he says, "Your son comes home and say go Gators." I said, "Well, it's not me. I promise you." Yeah. But he came over. I got to share this. He came over. It was like 2 weeks ago. He's like, "Mr. Darren," he goes, "Shh, don't tell my daddy. Go Gators." He's like, "I mean, you're gonna get me so much trouble."
I will say, to a little kid, a gator is probably way more exciting than essentially a cow. You know, as mascots go.
But with that being said, he goes, "I still like Longhorns. I still like Longhorns. Go Longhorns." So when he comes over, I tell him, I said, "Make sure you say go Longhorns too, you know, because I don't want your dad getting mad at me." We can do it fun, and it's just a lot of fun. That's for sure.
Fun. You can love both. That's okay.
Yes, absolutely. Lori's saying hello. Hey, Lori, she's from Long Beach, California, not too far from you.
Good morning.
Nice.
Yes. So you're Long Beach, and you're in. I guess that's.
Yeah.
I guess where you're at, that's probably like 20 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, not that far. Not that far at all.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. No worries here. Also, now I'm going to really mess this up. I found in one of your videos a town that I want to go see, Dinglesbury, or I mean,
Dinglesville.
Dinglesville.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. So.
the Dinkletown. But I saw walking around and everything. I never heard of it. So guess where I'm going? I'm gonna check it out. So because of y'all, your video,
I love that.
I'm gonna be checking that out.
Yeah, it's a much smaller town, and it's like I think 30 minutes from Rottenburg.
I love Rothenburg.
Yeah. It was, but it was very cute. Just chill.
Yeah, we recommend in how do you pronounce it? Is it Rothenburg? The Obertauber?
Rothenburg, Obertar, Obertar.
Yeah. So the fairy tale town.
The fairy tale town.
Fairy tale town. That's it.
Yeah, we love that town, and I think the secret is like stay there overnight for a few nights, because we learned that it's very popular for people to do like day trips from, I don't know if from Munich or Nuremberg or other towns, but it gets, well, I don't know now after, COVID kind of
It'll
shook
ramp
things
back
up.
up eventually.
I'm sure it'll ramp back up, but
Yeah.
it got so busy that it was hard to really like go and do a lot of things during the day. And so we loved our experience when we stayed there overnight. At nighttime, like after 5 p.m.
It was
so clear and open.
Wide open. It was amazing. And they had a little bitty Christmas market there that we tried to go to during the day, and we couldn't even get around because it was shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
And we were like, never mind on this. And we went back after dinner, which first we had dinner at this cute, tiny little Japanese restaurant.
Yeah.
It was adorable. And then we just took a lovely stroll around town, went through the market, got a couple gifts for family.
Yeah.
And then got up very early in the morning
sunrise
before the buses came in, and were able to get that iconic picture of the building with the two streets.
That was neat how you did that.
Truly magical.
The skies, the color, like
Yeah.
we saw a rainbow.
Oh,
it was just
beautiful. But
like,
if you
what is this?
if you'd have come, if the only experience we had was a day trip, which if that's all you can do, that's fine. It's still a beautiful place.
That's right.
But
That's right.
if that was your only experience, you might be like, that's overrated. It was so crowded. But man, after hours, prime time. It was gorgeous. I would go again.
I'd spend a few nights there.
Yeah.
And for sure.
Yeah, I know one thing. Like during the day, you're not going to get that picture.
No
way.
I have a side by side that I posted on Instagram at the time of like the same picture during the day, and it's just absolutely crawling with people, and then that picture at like 7:30 in the morning with 0 people.
Yeah, we probably woke up at 6 a.m. to get ready and go over there, and that was
one of our first like, we're going to go out just for a photo shoot, just for Instagram kind of a adventure, which was fun.
Absolutely.
Thank you for taking my picture.
You're welcome.
Over and over.
There you go. Now, did you notice in Germany, like my friend York here, he's saying that in Germany there's always something to celebrate, which is in Tell Village all year round. That is very true. Everywhere you go, you see festivals and everything. Did you notice that when you were there?
Well, it was Christmas time, so probably the only festival happening is Christmas.
Yeah, there were so many festivities
to the max.
around
but
Christmas.
So for us, it was always something to celebrate, and that something was Christmas.
Yeah.
But we'd love to go in any other season. I think I'd really enjoy it in the summer and enjoy whatever they're celebrating. Yep. We'd be happy to.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh boy. I said this a million times. I'll say it again. I can't wait to get back. Oh my goodness. I am dying here. It's crazy. Figure of speech. But when you go 2 or 3 times a year and all of a sudden you can't go.
Yeah.
When we're so used to the freedom of going.
Right.
It's like
you haven't been in like 5 years for the amount of time it's been,
I think we've all been watching a ton of travel videos to get us through.
Yeah. And daydreaming about where we'll go and what we'll do and what we'll eat.
That's right. That's right. Have you ever heard of Walter's World?
Yeah, I watch his stuff every once in a while. Yeah.
Oh,
very informative. Yes. Yes. Lots of do's and don'ts.
Very, very informative. I know him now for 12 years. It's hard to believe. He's my first YouTuber. He's the first one I ever subscribed to in my life.
Wow.
It was back in 2009. I got back from Germany, one of my trips. Little history. It took me 19 years to get back to Germany. Okay. And that was in 2008. So since 2008, I've been back 19 times. It would have been 22 times by now, but I'm going to make up for it. But anyways, and I remember coming back on my 2009 trip, and it was myself and some buddies went. In 2008, it was my wife and I. But anyways, and I was on YouTube. I didn't even know what YouTube was. I'm just 2009. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm looking, and I wrote Germany. I typed in the word Germany, see what pops up. All of a sudden, Mark Walters pops up. Yeah. Okay, and he was in Munich, and he was just wearing his black coat and everything, and he was sitting there talking about Munich. I just got back from Munich. I love Munich. I know a lot about it. A lot I don't know too, but and everything he was saying was, yeah, that's right. This guy knows what he's talking about. Who is this guy? Walter's World. Walter's World or Walter's World, or like that. Yeah. I started listening and everything, and he said, "Well, subscribe." I'm like, "Subscribe? You got to pay something?" And then I didn't know everything, so I hit subscribe, and that was it. I said, "Oh, I don't have to pay anything. Okay, cool." But once I subscribed, I didn't know what I was doing. I had the notification, did all this stuff, and all of a sudden, all these videos every day coming at Walter's World. I watch them. And I watch the next one. I'm like, this guy is good.
Yeah, he has so much content too.
Yeah, very knowledgeable about places too.
Absolutely. I love it's very practical. A lot of his stuff. It's just like, here it is. go have fun, you know?
That's right. That's right. And over the years, of course, you know, I've been watching them and everything, and we became friends. I met him several times. He actually came to my house last July, him and his wife and kids.
Nice.
They were in Savannah, so they drove all the way to my house where I'm at
That's
and everything.
cool.
Oh man, it was right in the middle of the pandemic and everything, and it was awesome. Then I saw him at the airport in Tampa, down in Tampa, Florida. I'm from Ocala, it's North Central Florida, but anyways, in Tampa, and we just been friends even before that, because we always tie back and forth, and you know, and everything. Did stuff like this for a while before we actually met and everything. So it was pretty neat. But I was gonna say, if you hadn't checked out Walter's World, make sure to check out Walter's World. But obviously,
I probably watched one of his videos. I would always do things on YouTube before we get to a new country, and his videos were heavily in the mix for like planning and researching. Especially around like cultural stuff, you know, how to behave, how it works, you know, that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah. Yes, York. That's a good thing. But I know not to do that, because they will come after you. They will hunt you down if you unless you ask them.
Yeah, that gets awkward sometimes. We try to be careful. Like if I'm in a bakery and trying to film the food or something, I'm always trying to really zoom in and focus on the food and an arm and. Yeah, because sometimes you just,
Ronnie,
I don't want to walk around and just film everybody and assume they're all okay with it, right?
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. That's one thing, you know, when I'm doing that stuff, I try to be respectful to everybody. Either if they're sort of not in my way, I don't want to say that. They're not in my way. I mean, they're free just like I am, you know, but I would say, do you mind if they're around? Do you mind if I film this and film that?
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, you'll get that 9. You know, but you know, sure. Yeah. And then they'll sit there, they'll watch you, you know, so, oh yeah, my spaghetti eyes, Coco. That's right. That's right. We're going to be closing up here pretty soon. We've been up here, but you got about another 15 minutes. Is that okay?
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
we do.
Sure.
I want to be respectful of your time and everything. And first of all, y'all are great guests.
Thank you.
You got the you're welcome anytime tab.
Oh,
so,
thank you. We're
honored. Yeah, just hit that tab. Welcome anytime.
We are honored. Thank you.
Did you ever have donor while we were there in Germany?
No, the kebab things.
Yes. Doner kebab, exactly.
We are mostly vegetarian, and we had one sausage item while we were there at the Nuremberg market.
The white.
I think it's called. We had two.
In Munich and Nuremberg. Yeah.
And that was the only meat item I had eaten in like
months, probably
months, and I don't think I've had any since then. Maybe once or twice.
Anyway, we eat a ton of falafel though.
Yeah,
we always go to the donor restaurants. We eat a lot of falafel and hummus and
but we mostly
hummus. Yes, okay.
Mostly vegetarian, which can be a little bit annoying when you travel and want to film, because like food tours and things, you have to heavily modify them, and then we get a lot of comments of like, I can't believe you didn't eat this, or why didn't you do that? Why would you eat falafel there? And I'm like, because I don't eat meat. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry.
We still do occasionally. Like I'll eat fish every now and then, or maybe a couple times a year. It's like, okay, we're in Germany. We're going to have that. I've never had that Bavarian white sausage. Like we're going to try it. And even though I probably ate it wrong with the casing on,
the vice versa.
Yep.
The vice versa. So good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about meat.
Yeah, so
it's always good though when we have a friend traveling with us, like we did in Vietnam. We did a food tour that was like a vegetarian food tour on motorbikes in Ho Chi Minh City. So much fun, such an adventure. But when our friends are with us, we can do those too and like
have them eat it.
They can eat, and we can fill out a video more to like really show the experience of all the food.
Yeah.
So that usually helps us out.
For sure.
Absolutely.
We'll have some meat eaters around, you know.
Yes. Germany, the Germans that I found, even my friends, I got friends in North Germany and South Germany. They're very proud of their regions, where they're from.
We have learned.
Yeah. Yes. Like York here, you know, all the places I visit are in Bavaria. Bavaria is not Germany, you know. Yep. Well, I have friends. I have friends that live in Bavaria. This is the real Germany. This is Bavaria. Oh no, this isn't Germany. This is Bavaria, and everything. And he goes, Germany came from us, and then there's like, oh, there's a real rival there. Then you get up there, Bavaria. No, that's fairy tale. That's not real. You know, this is real Germany and everything. And I was talking about fact, my last flight coming back from I flew out of Munich. No, I flew out of Frankfurt last time. Flew out of Frankfurt, and I sat down with this guy from Germany. I like sitting next to Germans, so maybe get to talk and try to utilize my language, whatever. And I said, oh yeah. I said I made a comment. I love Bavaria. Bavaria's not German. I mean, I said, settle down, Pumbaa. I didn't say that in my mind. I said, settle down, Pumbaa. But after a while, he calmed down. He goes, no. Then he laughs, ha ha. It's a rival, ha ha ha.
That's funny.
He's like, Bavaria's beautiful, but there's other parts in Germany that's beautiful too. I said, oh yeah, I agree with that.
Absolutely.
I said, I'll go to all of them.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I like them both.
we have a lot more to
We have
explore.
so much more and would love to. Absolutely would love to. It just didn't end up on
Thank
the
you.
itinerary that time. We drove around ourselves, so we couldn't get too carried away with the distance. So
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
loved it.
As many times I've gone, I lived there a total of 6 years in Germany, a total of, when I was a kid and lived there. So
Mhm.
there's still so much to see. I read somewhere online, I can't pinpoint it, where if you were to visit every single room and crevice of every castle that in Germany, it will take you 72 years.
Wow.
And if you're constantly doing it,
Yeah.
There's so many.
And
Yeah.
and in each one there's so much to see, right?
Mhm.
Each
Yes.
So
and there's so many ruins too that I love
Yes.
looking at the ruins.
Mhm.
First of all, those people. I like to go there and like, wow, this really happened here.
Right.
Now, of course, when I take people to Germany, I take them to the Neuschwanstein Castle and all that.
Gotta do
It's a must see. It's a must see.
Yeah,
In fact,
absolutely.
I got a little glare. I'm a little glare there, but that's the Neuschwanstein Castle.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is.
But I got a little German wall there.
Nice.
I'm on my laptop today. That's why. But anyways, yeah. But I take people sure to all the touristy places. It's a have to. But when they come again, I take them to places that are not touristy, or I mix it in too with when hey, let's do this today, but let's do this.
Yeah.
So we mingle in with the couple there. But Kim, I just want to say good morning to you. Glad you're here.
Good morning,
Morning.
Kim.
Ronnie's saying Ronnie's out in Dallas too, by the way.
Hey,
Nice.
Ronnie.
So we got the Dallas crew and everything.
Howdy, fellow Dallasites.
And our friend Kenneth here, he's really taking care of us here, Ashley and Jordan.
Yeah.
Make sure you check out Ashley and Jordan. Check out the channel. You will be pleasantly surprised. Awesome folks. Number one, number two, their videos are spectacular. I mean, they're really, really good. I have so much more to look. There's even cruising videos too. I haven't seen the cruising video yet. Like you're on a cruise.
Yeah, and we did a couple. So we did
on our way to Laos.
Yeah, so from Thailand
Oh, wow.
to Luang Prabang, Laos, we did the Mekong River cruise.
That was so much fun.
Highly recommend. Like that was a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
And then we did a cruise in Halong Bay and Lan Ha Bay.
Oh, we did. I forgot about that.
And outside of Hanoi in Vietnam.
Looking back on that now, that cruise was like right when COVID was ramping up. It's funny that we did a cruise specifically because all those other cruise boats at the time were being like docked indefinitely.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So we did a couple.
but it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now I have a question for you. I remember I did see a video of Budapest Christmas market.
Yeah.
What were the differences between the German Christmas markets and the one in Budapest? I've never been to Budapest. I'd like to go one day.
For me, the Budapest one was one of our early Christmas markets, wasn't it? And it was, or at least, well, first off, Budapest is just such a bigger city than a lot of the Christmas markets that we went to in Germany. It's just massive. And the market itself felt more of a production. There was a massive stage with people playing music all night, which I know lots of markets in Germany have little bits of this, but like all at once. And it felt more like what I might call a carnival or something back home.
Yeah, there was a Ferris wheel, concert stage, tons of lights everywhere.
It felt more contemporary, whereas the markets in Germany felt very traditional in the way they're presented.
Right.
But there's tons to do. I mean, it was absolutely huge.
Yeah.
As with most markets, I recommend going during the day. I know it's not as like pretty to look at, but there's just less people. We went both in the day and at night. And at night, it was just almost overwhelming how many people there are because, everybody's trying to have a good time.
Yeah.
But if I remember right, there was some really good food at the Budapest market, like huge food tents.
The Longos was really good. And
was good.
There was
that's what I'm talking about.
That was like 30 feet by 30 feet. and maybe like 4 feet deep, and the whole thing is just
All kinds
100
of
different
food.
types of like dishes that
Yeah.
you could buy and
Amazing
get. And it was
amount of
like
food.
so much
It
food there.
was. So that was a cool thing about it. It just felt just bigger all around, just more of a production would be the difference, I would say.
Yeah, and you have the Buddha side, which is like the castle district, and then you have the Pesh side, and you cross over the Danube River, and it like when you have both those combined, it's a massive town, like a city.
Really?
We did. Budapest was where we went to the vegetarian vegan market. Was that the same place?
That was
in a different city.
That was Prague.
Oh, Prague.
That was Prague.
Prague had
that video too.
Christmas market, which was
that was unique,
hilarious for us. We went and thought that was a lot of fun. Anyway.
Well, let me see. If I remember correctly, we went to Prague. You also went to Vienna.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Christmas market.
Mm-hmm.
We did.
I know I'm missing some.
Zurich,
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we went. There was a Christmas market at the top of Mount Pilatus as well.
Yeah, that was cool.
In
the
Switzerland.
highest Christmas market in the world.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Just up on the top of the mountain. It's very small, but it was super cute. Have a glass of mulled wine, walk around, get some gifts.
Yep.
I'm writing that down because I like to check that out.
Yeah, it was really cool. And we took the cogwheel train up, which I think was the steepest cogwheel train in the world.
Yep.
Is it really?
And the views
really
are beautiful.
Cool. Yeah, it was really cool.
And you can see Lucerne down at the bottom. So it's just outside of Lucerne, Switzerland.
That's a whole area I feel like we need to go and spend more time in. I feel like we really breezed through it. And it was expensive, which is probably why we breezed through it.
Right.
Constraints, but I'd love to go back and kind of take it in more.
Most places are pretty reasonable, to travel in Europe, but some places like Switzerland, very beautiful. But there's a Costa.
And that's all right. We knew it would be. We planned accordingly, but still we had to sort of pare down our life to make it work.
One that we loved was, or I loved at least, was the Bratislava, Slovakia Christmas market.
Those were great.
They
were
huge, but
smaller. But they had all the same kind of fun stuff, and they had lots of different kinds of drinks too.
Medovina,
all kinds of
mead,
things.
glow wine.
They had that the one where they had the little live nativity with the sheep and stuff?
Yeah,
that was very cute.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I like those.
They're just a little bit smaller, a little more kind of intimate and cozy. I loved them. They were. Every Christmas market has its own character and their own, value.
That's true. That's true. I like to check it. I wish we had more time when we get there in December to go to Budapest this trip. But you know what? I feel like I've been locked up since last year. We'll be making a lot more trips as a family and stuff over there. I go there all the time by myself and with friends and everything. But hey, Mark, I tried that, but they are in California. They won't be there during that time.
Sorry. I don't know. I mean, we're going to Dallas very, very briefly this weekend for a wedding. We're going to bop in and out. But after that, I don't know when we'll be back. We have no.
Who's getting married?
His cousin.
My cousin.
All right.
Yeah.
Good deal.
I
love weddings.
Relatives in a while.
Yeah, we haven't seen him in a minute. So my mom was thrilled. I called her and I'm like, hey, it was kind of last minute that we decided to go.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you want to do breakfast this day? And she's like, yeah, you're going to be here? I'm like, yeah. Because a week before that, she had asked me, when are you coming back? And I was like, I don't know. And I think that really hurts her heart.
Oh boy.
We gotta do our adventures. It's just
That's right. That's right. Yes, Kim, thank you for being here. The doubleheader. In fact, Mark Walters at Walters World, he was live pre this.
Oh, nice.
While I was running around the house, I was watching him flying by here, flying by that, and typed in there, hey, Mark, what's going on? He goes live every once in a while. I go live every Saturday. I go live every Friday and Saturday. Friday mornings at 8:00 Eastern Standard Time, which is called Morning Coffee with Darren. I'm sitting there with a cup of coffee. It's German coffee.
Yeah.
And I love doing that. And of course, every Saturday, I have my 11 p.m. or 11 a.m. I used to be 7, but I have a lot of guests from Germany, and I don't want them to be up at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So for time purposes, that's why I changed to 11, and it's been a lot better. It worked out a lot better for me and guests and future guests and everything. For sure. So thanks, Kev, for being here. Got Mike's here, and guys out there, please know I see that you're here. If I didn't mention your name, please forgive me. But we're going to start wrapping it up here, and I guarantee you, I'm going to get back to each one of these comments, and we'll get with you.
We love the comments too. Like we love the engagement. Like
Yeah,
we'd
it's
love
fun.
to chat with y'all over on our channel, or even you're pretty active on Instagram
I'm super
as well.
active on Instagram.
We chat a lot.
Yeah, I love your Instagram posts. I mean, that's I hear ding. I'm like, oh, it's Ashley. Cool.
That was my first love in sharing travel. I did a lot of Instagram stuff when it would just be the two of us traveling, and it kind of, at the time, I would have said, oh, it gives me something to do, like a reason to, you know, capture this or notice that. Now we have a massive reason. We're always trying to film it, but I love Instagram. It's a lot of fun. So, and a lot of YouTube is just us. It can feel lonely, like we're just making this thing and it's just us. So when we finally do get to meet people and talk to them, that's kind of makes it worth it, really.
Yeah,
so.
That's awesome. I got a question for you. I don't want to put you on the spot, okay? But have you ever thought about like maybe doing live streams from your channel?
We haven't thought about live streams in particular, and right now that would be maybe a great goal for when we're not just absolutely swamped, because right now I spend all week editing, he spends all week working, so that we can get the video done in time to go film something on the weekend, and then we repeat just over and over and over
and have a travel day, like on a Sunday we can go do something. We're literally working like every single day and trying to keep up at this point, so
maybe someday in the future, but
right,
probably not anytime soon. But
I got you. I got you.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun to, you know, like you're saying, you know, meet people and give a chance, you know, your subscribers to say, hey, wow, I'm talking to a real person, you know, and you know, it's really cool. And I've been trying to, I hate that word because, you know, but I've been trying to get like German YouTubers to get more involved with live streams. And it's been working. I have some they're going to be coming out with their first live stream of their own. I invited them for guests before and everything, and they liked it. Now they've been starting them the last couple of weeks, and so it's fun to see. And I'm meeting more German YouTubers too, coming around. And
that's the whole fun of it, right? Is these connections, and sharing it all together. That's
absolutely. I love people. I'm a people person, and so and it's really neat to share. Carmen's out in California too. Carmen's she's German.
Carmen, you have the most awesome like cat eye sunglasses in your profile picture. I love those.
Those look pretty cool. Absolutely. All right. I wish I had 5 more hours with you guys, but again, I'm gonna be respectful of your time and everything. And you're welcome here anytime. I hope to have you again.
Thank you. This was delightful. Thank you for having us. It was great to meet everyone too.
Yeah, we love all the questions.
That's awesome. And may I ask you one more question? I'm gonna let you go. I promise. It's hard to say goodbye. Okay. What are your goals? Your future goals? We see what you're doing. What are your future goals and aspirations for you and your channel? And then we'll close.
You can take that one.
It's a good one to close on. So I'd say like our number one priority is probably like our relationship, us, right? And then behind that, like we've realized like it is traveling and experiencing the world and this planet and everything it has to offer. And so like our long-term goals are like, you know, we would love to be able to travel continuously and like just make that a part of our life and be able to share that with others. And when you think about like our YouTube channel or our Instagram or anything, our website, you know, we want to ideally have all that stuff to be able to support us to travel, but also allow us to like save for our future still, so we can keep doing it.
Sure.
And
specifics, I don't know, but like overall big goal. That's
big
kind of
picture for sure. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, looks like Lori just subscribed to you, and I see a couple others too. As a matter of fact, I got 3 messages from other people that said that we love your guests and they subscribe to you. So,
guys,
so that's awesome, guys.
That's so cool.
That's really cool. All right, guys. Hey, thanks so much again for your time being here. I wish you the best in your travels. Be safe on your travels. And I am a fan, so I got a lot of catching up to do on your videos. I saw a lot of them, but there's a lot I've not seen. And I'm going to encourage everybody out in the chat to check them out. And again, our friend Kenneth, there's the link. Make sure you check out my friends Ashley and Jordan with Keep Going Places. And you will thank me later. That's for sure. All right. Now, in closing, I always do this with my folks here. Okay. Now, I always say Dankeschön, tschüss. Okay, that means thank you, see you later, thank you, bye, everything. Will you help me with that?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So on the count of 3,
Mhm.
I'm going to say, now I do it a different way. The normal way is doggers and choose,
Sure.
but I say doggers and choose.
Okay.
So it's a little bit of animation there.
Okay.
Emphasis.
Give it some
Animation. There you go. It's just, it's tradition. There you go. All right. So ready?
Mhm.
Eins. By the way, I have no German in me at all. English on my dad's side, Irish on my mom's side. I just love going to Germany. So eins, zwei, drei. Doggers and shoes. Oh, yes, sirree, Bob.